So this is organic structure 30. What we're going to start to see is how to being able, I don't know if you notice that when you are doing your ganchos, for example, with your hands on your back, there's a moment when that leg's out that you run out of gas and you cannot move, and it's kind of difficult, right? So the reason is that because most of you have practiced too much to be on this ludicrous concept of being on your own axis and being in balance, right? So because you've been practicing like that, right? A little bit, then when you go for the gancho, you get into these axes with perfect balance, you do your gancho, and after that you don't know what else to do. And the game is, unfortunately for that concept, dance is an activity that is completely out of balance all the time. So if you take any performance of any master, well, if you take mine, for sure you're going to discover that there's no one axis that just stays still. But anyhow, grab any dancer of your choice, look at the dancing and start to count how much time that dancer spends on one leg doing this. And you realize that they spend maybe 0.05% or 1, something like that, which is almost non-existent. So that means that dancing means moving. You understand? And 99% of your dance is about moving. And moving is about losing that axis. So, for example, when we are walking on the street, right, we don't walk on the street like this. And the reason is because it's uncomfortable, non-efficient, plus it looks weird. I'm going to exaggerate what you do, is that every axis, see, is tilted where you're going to, like this. I'm exaggerating, okay? So if you were going to go back, it's because your weight is charging back. You get it? So that's how we move on planet Earth. You get it? In some other planets, maybe you can walk like this, you know? Like this, pretending that you are straight. You get it? But it has the problem of walking like that, see? That first of all, you're moving and cutting the dance step by step, right? Which it cuts the most basic beauty of dance, which is to flow. You know, so it looks like you are flowing and not just taking one step, stopping the dance, and then taking one step and stopping the dance. So what we want is to flow through. So how can you flow through these ganchos? From the leading aspects and from the following aspects is that while the gancho is going on, you should be able to put your head where you're going next. So axes and boleos and things, instead of happening like this, you know, in this parallel, in this perpendicular universe, you know, for example, if I were going to do a boleo and then go there, boleos will start to happen a bit like this. Wow. You get it? And that's where the engine is of the movement, right? The second thing is why we don't use these parallel axes. We don't use parallel axes, and especially for women, we do not use your shoulders parallel to the ground and your hips parallel to the ground, because that comes from ballet. You know, a dance where everybody's straight like this and they are all parallel. They look like kind of puppets. And the reason is we don't use that because that's the anti-sex. You get? It's the anti-femininity. Let me show you this. If you want to be non-sensual, not sexual, the first thing you will do is to lift yourself parallel and start to move like this. See, everything perpendicular to the ground and like this, right? You do these things. So the opposite of that, if you want to start to feel your own femininity, or if you want to start to feel something, see, the first thing you do is you tilt your shoulders or your hips. You get it? And this is what you get. Oh, see what I mean? So even if I don't explain to you and I do this to you, you know what it means, don't you? Yeah. So, but if I do this to you, see, it looks like more like a military position, and it means the non-feeling and the cutting of all your sensual perceptions. So, it has a lot of content, all this structured material. So, let's see how she can start to apply this so she has a better engine of flowing, especially during the gancho and after the gancho. So, we're gonna do it on a back cross, for example, like this. And this is the back cross. There you go. See the effort you are doing that you cannot come back? So, let me show you why. And that's the back cross. And one more time. So, that's the back cross and go. There you are. See how quick you get out of there? Yeah, there you are. So do it yourself. Back cross and go. That's it. So now you have too much speed actually. There you go. That's it. Yeah, see? Keep going. Never stop like that. You keep going until I tell you. So, this is how you used to do your ganchos. You run out of energy and then you go. So, do your ganchos. Ole. Do your ganchos and go. There you go. See how it speeds up?
Yes.
So go with your head. There you are. Feel it? So to the other side, same thing. There you go. That's perfect. That's perfect. There you go. So that's a little too much. So you regulate your head for what you need. There you go. There you have it. See? So the news is you've been practicing and you've been concentrating exactly, for women, exactly where it's not it. It's not on your legs, it's not on your hips, it's not in anything you have been practicing before, but it's inside your head. See? When you go somewhere, this is what you do. So, relax, be cool, take it at your own speed. I know it's a lot of information, but make very good use of it. See you on the next video.